Now we're interviewing Gus Ruckle. He was he was 10 during the 80s, and this is Gus.
Hi, everybody.
Gus, could you name some world events that were going on in the world when you were 10?
Well, the big one would be the Iran-Contra scandal with Oliver North. But most of the events I remember were ones that took place at home. It was the development of the VCR, the popularization of the VCR, the development of the CD player, and the rapid increase in the malls going up around America. Everybody seemed to flock to them as sources of entertainment.
And how do you think these events influenced you to become what you are right now?
Well, they put entertainment into my life. It gave me things to do on my weekends, places to go. But, and in fact, it made me a little bit more materialistic. And I think it did most of America as well.
Who was your hero when you were 10?
Had to be Ronald Reagan, and for several reasons. One was the fact that I grew up perceiving this idea of Republican invincibility. Reagan was president when my memory first became really clear, and then Reagan was reelected. And then Bush was elected, thus continuing the line. In fact, when Bush was failed to be reelected, my heart kind of sank because I have never remembered a Democratic president or Republicans going out of power. It was very odd. And for the second reason was never before had there been someone who starred in movies as president. It led the idea, could an actor be a president? Could they switch roles? And then we see Sonny Bono going to, and Gopher from The Love Boat going to the House of Representatives. So it made me wonder if people can do such drastic career changes.
Growing up, what was important to your family?
Education was the biggest thing. My mom always had a saying, I don't care if you're a ditch digger, as long as you're a well-educated one. And that was the center of my family life. But we enjoyed leisure activities too. My mom and my dad and I always went on vacations together. We used to travel extensively. But togetherness, go to church on Sundays together. Togetherness is a family unit, the immediate family unit. I saw my cousins and aunts and uncles, but the immediate family unit was the biggest thing.
What do you think was the average American home like?
Average American home was very materialistic. I used to go back to that word because of all of a sudden the development of the yuppie syndrome. Everybody had to have a VCR in their home, even though they cost upwards of $300–400. When the CD player came out, it made the biggest news. I mean, it was on the cover of Time. It's the revolutionary way of hearing things, and they cost a fortune. And it was always something that impacted upon my life, because my dad also would always say, it's a phase. But now that we're in the 90s, you can see it's become more than a phase. We've based a lot of our lives on that, as did the development of the personal computer too. Yeah. Back as far as I can remember, computers were these giant machines that processed millions of bits of information, but they were so bulky. Now we've got them where you can put them on your lap in an airplane. To me, that's amazing. But to anybody who is older than me, it's almost astounding.
Sure it is. Gus, I'd like to thank you not just for myself, but for my whole group. That's Juliet and Charlene.
No problem.
And I'd like to say not just thanks to Gus, but to everybody that participated and helped us with this project. And you too, Father.